Hello, I'm Wesley Snipes. I want to talk about my friend Spike Lee. You don't know that this Spike Lee comes from a village in Africa called Brooklyn. It is part of the West Africa side. You know they have a lot of people there in this village. They are known for their artisans. They're known for their ability to write scripts and the ability to cinematographers, yeah? You heard about this village, yeah? So I want to say something about this Spike Ezekwe Umongolese Malcolm Mandela. That is his real name. How much of an inspiration this man is to me. He's an inspiration because I learned a lot about patience. Working with this man, yeah, a lot about patience. And I'm going to tell you a quick stories, and I'm going to give these movie stars here their time. A couple of years ago, I was with Spike, and I had the honor of coming with him to the Oscars to represent the beautiful Queen Mother Ruby Dee. Spike was her date, and I was the bodyguard. When, after the show, the award show and everything happened, and we're going out the way, they said we can go up to the party. So Spike said, Wesley, come with me to the party. I said, oh, I'm going to a party with Spike. This is good, yeah. To the governor's party. We get up to the desk, and the little girl says, so, excuse me, sir, do you have your ticket? And Spike says, oh yeah, we have a ticket. He pulls the ticket out, but it's the wrong ticket. It doesn't have the little orange or red strip on it, you know, to get upstairs. So the lady says, do you have your ticket? He says, this is the ticket. He says, no, sir, this is not the ticket. I'm sorry. Who are you? He says, my name is Spike. She said, what do you say? She said, my name is Spike. She says, okay, sorry, I'm sorry, sir. If you want a beverage, you can go over there. They have the Sprite and Coke and whatever drink that you want over there. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, oh my God, they're not going to let Spike go upstairs. He turns to me, he says, this is Wesley Snipes. And she says, who are you? So you know what happened? They didn't let us come upstairs to the ball, for the governor's ball. And we stand downstairs there, and I'm looking like, I can't believe it. They don't let Spike Lee upstairs? Okay. So I want to say why this is about perseverance and patience. Because look at this here. Spike Lee, I can't believe it. They didn't want you to come upstairs before the years. But look, and now they're giving you an award. To all of you who are actors, to all of you who are trying this business, it is important to understand that sometimes you might not get the award for your craft, your acting, or your singing, or your dancing. All you have to do is write some script, write some controversial subject matter, say something that's going to piss a lot of people off, and sooner or later, you will too be here getting an award. Good for you. Good for you. I love you, Spike Lee. And we get, we're going about to boil that way go by. Keep going. It's a true story.
Well, there you have it. Spike, we're here for you. Our partner, pioneer, phenomenon, prophet, pain. We love you, and we're here for you. Sam?
Really?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
All right. Spike Lee.
But first, you want anything you want to throw in, Wesley?
Well, I want to say something here.
Skill plus 10. Spike Lee. Denzel and I were doing a soldier's play at the Negro Ensemble Company when we met Spike Lee.
Right.
Yeah, he came to the play. And he told us he was going to be a director. We were like, all right. Sure. Said I'm at NYU Film School doing a movie right now. Joe's Bed-Stuy Barbershop. We cut heads. And we like, yeah, all right. Come down, check it out. I went down there. Did you go down there?
No, I ain't go.
I went down there and looked at the film. And he told me, you know, he was gonna make a film coming up. I'm like, out of sight. Morehouse man, we down. Okay, great. Morehouse, yeah. And then he made sure you gotta have it, and I wasn't in it.
I wasn't in it.
Wasn't in it.
Wesley, was you in it?
Don't talk about the movies I wasn't in.
Okay. All right. So I said, so that's that same dude that came by here and told us we were gonna be in his movies, right?
Right.
And we weren't in his movie.
Right.
Then he started doing his next movie, School Days. I finally got a call, and I worked 3 hours on that movie. It's like, he looking out for his Morehouse brother. Yeah, right on, right on. And then he do the right thing. But by then, he actually had my phone number. So Spike had this unique casting thing he would do. He would call, Sam, Spike, do the right thing, June, click. That's like, that mean I got a job? So, sure enough, I had a job. I did do the right thing. Next summer, Sam, Spike, Love Supreme, click. That turned out to be Mo Better Blues. I did that. Next summer, Sam, Spike, Jungle Fever, click. But I was in rehab, so. So thank God, Spike didn't recast the role because I was in rehab, because I was actually in rehab because I had done the research to do Jungle Fever, which actually worked out very well for me, which got me to Hollywood, which was awesome.
I remember that.
Yeah, made it, yep. So thank you, Spike, for hanging in there with her, brother, and getting me here. But through all that and through doing all those films, we all discovered that Spike makes films that are very personal to Spike, that he hopes an audience will embrace. But you really think he cared? I mean, he wants you to like his films and he wants you to embrace them in a way, but he tells stories and he tells them in a way that he doesn't really embrace the fact of people's feelings being hurt or.
He don't pay nobody either. He don't pay nobody.
Well, we
Did you get paid? Did you get paid?
I used to steal Nike stuff out of the basement because we had all that stuff stashed in the basement. So I'd go down and get some shoes, shirt, something, you know. But yeah, scale plus 10.
Scale plus 10.
Me, baby.
Spike makes films from his heart. Except for Inside Man, which was like a studio movie. And yeah.
No, we got paid on that.
Y'all got paid.
Oh,
Y'all got paid on that one. But
We still getting paid.
you still get. You weren't in that?
No.
Me either. But Spike has gone on to tell the story of Katrina, 3 little girls. He makes amazing documentaries. He actually did a film about we had a really great basketball player that played for the Lakers for a long time. He's still playing for them, but that's another story. And he makes these wonderful films and documentaries, and he's told the story of our people in his way. And his politics are the politics of, I guess, an American anarchist in a way. And I like that about him. I've always been, I guess, on the other side of that also. So it's been a wonderful journey with a wonderful friend who inspires me a lot. And it was always wonderful to have the summer at Spike Lee's film camp with all the wonderful actors that were around us, Bill Nunn, Fish, D, Wes, Giancarlo. There are a lot of people that have come out of what Spike started and allowed us to be a bigger part of and learn how to work in films that have become sort of staples in this business that we have called Hollywood. So thank you for that, Spike.
In front of and behind the camera.
Yeah, in front of and behind. Yeah, Ernest Dickinson, a lot of people have done that. And
Spike Lee has put more African Americans to work in this business than anyone else in the history of this business.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And
don't call me Tyler Perry. Don't you call me.
And
Spike was first.
Yeah, right. And all those years when Spike made those films that were so great, like Do the Right Thing, historical film. Mo Better Blues, awesome film. Jungle Fever, awesome films. Films that never were in 3,000 or 2,000 theaters, but they had to compete with films that were. And they still made money, and they are still being watched by audiences all over the world. And he's inspired an amazing number of young African Americans and Hispanics and Asian people to go out and learn the film business and become film directors, because he made it viable to tell your story your way. And for all those times that you didn't get that statue, Spike, and all those other things that didn't happen, your community loved you, and we still love you. And these days, I have an even greater reason to love Spike, because he actually directs my Capital One commercials. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. We're knocking it out. So now, instead of me asking that other question, I can ask you tonight, Spike, what's on your mantle? Please come receive your honorary, should be official, Academy Award for being just a, I'm gonna say it, bad motherfucker.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. They're up here snapping on my Oscar edition Air Jordans. Given to me by the great Michael Jordan for this occasion. Don't hate. But what an honor. Look at this. Denzel, my Morehouse brother, Samuel Jackson, Wesley Snipes. God damn. Shit. All right, well, I gotta, you guys, when you chose that song, at Change and Come, yeah, it's been a long time coming. So I want to thank Cheryl Boone Isaacs, the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Art and Sciences, trying to bring some flavor up in here. We need some flavor up in here. I want to thank the Board of Governors. I'm very sorry Debbie Reynolds is not here tonight. We'd love to meet her in person. And Jenna, it's an honor. And I know one's done this, but I got to give love to my table, because people come from a long way. Mr. Gene Friedman, my man, his son Dylan, my agent Tony Howard, and her partner David Yarnell, one of Brooklyn's finest, Mr. John Turturro. My longtime producer, John Killick. The wonderful Latanya Richardson Jackson. Where are you, Latanya? My siblings, David Lee, Sankey Lee, Joie. Now, David, I don't know if you were looking at the photographs earlier. He has been my unit photographer from film school, NYU. So all those great photographs of me he took. I told him he needs to make a book. My sister Joie, many of my films. My brother Sankey Lee, who's the videographer. My sister-in-law, Trace Elligan. My two children who are now in film school. They go to my alma mater, where I'm a tenured professor. Tenured. For 15 years, I've been teaching film at New York University Graduate Film School. So, thank you. My great, wonderful in-laws, George and Lillian. Louis, my father is not able to be here tonight. And then my lovely, strong partner, wife, Tanya. Tanya, stand up. Stand up. Now, if you see my body of work, I call it BT and AT. So you see my body of work before Tanya and after Tanya, dealing with women, you could tell where I got married. So thank you for that. All right, I'm gonna take my time. As they say in church, take your time. A little bit. How'd I get here? Well, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. And my mother, my late mother, who died when I was in film school, she was the one her name is Jacqueline Shelton Lee. She was the one that introduced me to film. My father, a great jazz musician, he hated movies. So I was my mother's date. And she would drag me to movies. And so my introduction to Martin Scorsese when she took me to see Mean Streets. Went away to college, alma mater, Sam, Morehouse College. I'm a third generation Morehouse man. My grandfather went to Morehouse. My father went to Morehouse. He was a freshman. Martin Luther King was a senior. And my grandmother and my mother went to Spelman. These are two historic black schools across the street from each other in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, Sam's wife is from Spelman. So when I went to college, I know what I wanted to do. If I had to go to college, I had to go to Morehouse. So my first 2 years, I was lost in the wilderness. I was a D+, C- student. It wasn't because I was smart, I was just not motivated. So at the end of my sophomore year, my advisor said, before it was time to go back home for the summer, go back to New York, she said, you had to think long and hard about choosing a major. And I said, why? She said, because you exhausted all your electives. So I came back to New York, the infamous summer of 1977. And I thought, up to that point, you could always get a job in New York. You had your working papers. But that summer, 1977, New York City was broke. There's a famous Daily News front page. Ford the city, that's President Ford, Ford the city dropped dead. There were no jobs. So I did not want to sit on my stoop and play Stratomatic baseball all summer. No one heard about no one played Stratomatic baseball back here? Come on. Somebody. Anyway, my team was the 1953 Brooklyn Dodgers. So that summer, it was crazy. It's really crazy because that summer, I ended up making a film about that summer. Summer Sam's, you never know how this stuff works. So one day, I'm on my stoop, we call them stoops, not porches in Brooklyn. And I'm gonna say, let me go see my friend Vieta Davis. Now, she was very smart. New York City public high schools like this, Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, and Brooklyn Tech. And she was a genius. I mean, right then and there, she knew she wanted to be a doctor. Ended up going to Princeton, then Harvard Med School. She's a doctor now in Chicago. Anyway, I'm gonna say, let me see what she's doing. So I go to her house, and I ring the bell. She says, come on up. And we're sitting in the living room, and in the corner is a box. And I say, what's in the box? She says, the Super 8 camera. I'm gonna be a doctor so you can have it. And I say, what's in the other box? She says, that's film for Super 8 camera. I'm gonna be a doctor, you can have it. So now I had something to do for the summer. I was not gonna play Stratomatic baseball on the stoop all summer. And so it was a great summer to shoot because a couple of days later, there was a blackout. It's a blackout, and so my father drove me around. We had a Citroen, yellow Citroen station wagon. And so my fellow brothers and sisters, my fellow Puerto Rican brothers and sisters started to loot. I filmed it. I went up to 120th Street in Harlem, filmed the looting. Went to Fulton Street in Brooklyn, choice items with color TVs, wash machines, Pampers, and Walt Frazier Clyde Pumas. And so I filmed that. And then that summer, in summer 1977, was the first summer disco. So every block weekends, people were hooking up their turntable and speakers to the street lamps. I was filming that. And then there was a guy named David Berkowitz, son of Sam. So he had most of New York terrified. See, this is before gentrification. So back in 1977, if Son of Sam would have come into Harlem, Bed-Stuy, they would have killed him. Way back before gentrification. So I have all this footage, and I go back to school, and I say, I'm going to be a mass communications major. And there's a teacher there who's still teaching there today. His name, Dr. Herb Eichelberger. He encouraged me to make a documentary out of this footage. The film was called Last Hustle in Brooklyn. From then, my junior and senior years, I was an A-plus student. I always see, yeah. But the reason why I didn't get any smarter, I just was interested. And so I don't say I found film. Film found me. Moving forward, I graduate. I know that story about working your way up from the mailroom doesn't work for black people. So I said, I'm going to try to go to film school. So I applied to USC and AFI, and I don't get in USC or AFI because I don't have the astronomical score on the GRE. But lucky for me, they had more forward-thinking people in NYU who said whether you get into film school not should be determined by a standardized test. So I got into IU, and that's where I met Ernest Dickerson. Great DP. Ernest and I were the only two people in the program. And we bonded automatically because I went to Morehouse, and he went to Howard. And here's the thing I like to say. The reason Ernest and I were successful is because our parents told us from a very early age that we had to be 10 times better than our white classmates. That just being the same was not going to be enough. That was instilled for me from the beginning, that we as a people here, if you're just trying, you got to be better. You have to extra excel. You have to excel. So,
Nothing's changed.
Come on, nothing's changed. That's D right there, the man. So, 3 years of film school. I do a film. My thesis film is called Joe's Best Star Barbershop, and it wins the Student Academy Award. I won the Student Academy Award back in 1983. So I had an agent. Man, I thought that Spielberg was gonna call me, Lucas, Fox, Universal. And I had a little apartment off Myrtle Avenue on Fort Greene before gentrification. So I had now the Student Academy Award is not like this. It's a wooden box with a circle with this on it. So I know for sure, because I have a Student Academy Award, I'm gonna take over Hollywood. But a funny thing happens when you don't pay Ma Bell, you don't pay Con Edison, and you don't pay Brooklyn Union Gas. The phone gets turned off, the heat gets turned off, and lights get turned off. So I was in the darkness, but I had my Student Academy Award. And then I woke up. And so that's when I learned the tough lesson that nothing happens overnight. There's no such thing as overnight success. And that's the biggest thing we do to our young people, and tell them that there's an animal as overnight success. You have to bust your ass, roll up your sleeves, and attack attack every single day. And that's what I've been telling my film students at NYU for the last 15 years. Let me turn a page here.
How many pages you got, Spike?
2 more, D. So, at this point,
I told you about patience, didn't I? I told you about having a lot of patience when you're working with these guys.
so I like to say,
You must have it.
I'm very happy. You know, this is a great night. My family's here, many friends, people I work with. But it's not been easy. And I'm just as proud as this award as the people we got into this industry, but behind and in front of the camera. That was always the goal. It's like if I got in, I was gonna try and bring as many motherfuckers with me as possible. I said, be like public enemy, bum rush the show. Cause we're coming in here. Malcolm X. We're getting ready to shoot Malcolm X. And we're meeting with the Teamsters. I say, sir, Tommy O'Donnell. I said, sir, do you have any black Teamsters? He says, no. I said, that's a problem. I said, until you get some black Teamsters, we're gonna have the Fruit of Islam drive trucks. And if you wanna come to the set and fuck with the Fruit of Islam, come on. Next day, 5 black Teamsters showed up. But some people don't do that, but I don't care about that. I knew I had to make changes like that, or we wouldn't be where we are today. In closing, I always say this, but it's been redundant, then please forgive me. I want to thank my grandmother. Sam, you met my grandma, Zimmy Shelton Lee. Her grandmother was a slave, yet she graduated with a college degree. And for 50 years, she taught art. Van Gogh was her favorite painter. For 50 years, she taught art in the state of Georgia, and for 50 years, she never had one white student because of Jim Crow laws in that state. And for 50 years, white students missed on a great art teacher. And for 50 years, my grandmother saved her Social Security checks for her grandchildren's education. And since I was the firstborn, I had first dibs. So my grandmother, through 50 years of saving her Social Security checks, put me through Morehouse, put me through NYU Film School, gave me the money for my thesis film, and then gave me the money for She's Gotta Have It. And I want to commend the President Cheryl Boone Isaacs because she's trying to do something that needs to be done. I don't know if you noticed, but the United States Census Bureau says by the year 2043, white Americans are going to be a minority in this country. And for all the people out there who are in position of hiring, you better get smart because your workforce should reflect what this country looks like. And I'm gonna get real here. Everybody in here probably voted for Obama, but when I go to offices, I ain't see no black folks except brother man at the security guard who checks my name off the list as I go into the studio. So we could talk, yabba yabba yabba, but we need to have some serious discussion about diversity and get some flavor up in this. This industry is so behind sports, it's ridiculous. It's easier to be the President of the United States as a black person than be the head of studio. Honest. It's easier to be the President of the United States than be head of a studio or head of a network. Let's leave Oprah out of it. She doesn't count. So, President, keep it going. I know it's tough. We've got a long way to go. Peace and love to people in France. And my last thing is Brooklyn in the house. Muslims in the house, thank you very much.